Good evening and welcome to Tea with the Goddess. For the new moon, actually the new moon is tomorrow morning, but I will not be available to celebrate tomorrow morning, so I'm celebrating tonight. And the new moon is, part of the cycle is ending things, releasing the things that we no longer need with gratitude, and or beginning something new. It's always a good time to begin something new. We are in the middle of harvest, which technically, the 21st was a couple weeks back. And we are now heading toward the final harvest of Halloween. But, lots of people closing up their gardens or hoping to recover something, depending on the weather in their area. But the thing that keeps coming to my mind, I'm not sure it's about beginning or letting go. I read a series of books this week, shifter fantasy, and written in this style where, or following the flow of something tragic happens, reconciliation, lots of fighting, good guys versus bad guys, and a lot of trauma and angst. Not angst, but anguish in a way, because of the things that happened in the past. And one of the themes or issues that kept cropping up in all the books was abandonment of some kind. You are my group, you are my family, and yet you left me behind for this. You weren't here when this happened, and I had to do these things. Grow up or grow into myself or change. You didn't come after me, you didn't search for me, you didn't find me, you didn't save me. And it really struck a chord. And, after I finished reading the books and I put them down and I'm like, well, okay, processing them. And I got a little snippy about the abandonment thing, as we do, judgmental. But then I started wondering today why it did strike such a chord. I don't have big traumatic abandonment issues in my past that I know of. There's the usual busy family, people being late. There's my own anxieties, but I cannot say something big traumatic happened in any fashion that was related to these books, and I was left behind. Granted, when people die, it can feel like that. We have to change when people die in our lives, because the role that they filled is now vacant. Setting aside the grief and the relationships, death is transformative for everyone who is connected to it. And we don't always know how long that takes. Granted, I mean, we're always growing. We are always learning, always changing, always redefining ourselves and our roles and the roles of others in our lives. And if these books are rubbing me the wrong way because I'm feeling abandoned because of death, well, then I'm going to start getting angry with myself, which is not a healthy thing either, because, I've always said that I understand the cycle of life and death. I believe there's something healing in it. I really hope that I die before my body totally deteriorates, or my brain. And yet, well, see, we've got survivor, as in the person who didn't die. We've got the person left behind. They all kind of, in a way, have a tinge of feeling abandoned. It wasn't where I thought I was going with this when I started. It is fascinating how things being spoken change the thought. What I was going to say is, I wonder if we all have a little bit of something inside. The reason why we search for a partner, or search for a team, or try to fit into this group or that group, want to be the best at, or want to be needed, or have these roles that we try on, is maybe we all feel a little bit abandoned, disconnected, and we don't know why. We can't say, this is the reason. This person left me standing on the street corner, and maybe some of us can. I shouldn't be flippant, but I wasn't intended to be flippant. There we go. But the ache inside that doesn't have a reason that we know of, many of us. And I know that it is something that many can fill with a spiritual connection, including myself, and that it can be filled with the connection of others. But I think for many of us that there still is that 3:00 in the morning feeling of, why is it so dark? Why has the moon gone away? Why do I feel like I am all alone, even if somebody is sleeping next to me and my house is full of family, or my community is all around me? And I don't necessarily have a good answer. This is more just putting more words out there to see what echoes back. Because at this point, I want to know why. I mean, I've got this spiritual connection. I do. And I know it and I can feel it. And I know that I am grieving people and always will. And I know that I have amazing connections with people. And I know that I have very rich imagination and some amazing books to read that could fill those holes, but still there is something in the middle. And so maybe sometimes I wonder, or now I wonder if maybe it's not, maybe we're calling it the wrong thing. This yearning, this reaching out. When my mom died, I wrote a little essay called The Chemistry of Tears. And basically it was about the fact that, yes, it feels like there is a gaping hole in a way that we are reaching. But the thing that came to me was that we are still connecting with the loved ones. It's simply that where they are now, or the form that they are in, is so different that it's traumatic. And so our bodies react with tears, with shakes, with aches. And maybe that is part of what this is, that the connection that we feel is so different from what we feel out here, touching things, the physical feeling on our fingertips and on our skin, that we can't define it. And it is so alien that it feels scary and lonely. Because if nobody can tell us what it is, and nobody can help us stop feeling it, and nothing really makes it go away, then that's scary, right? And then if something happens, like someone leaves, or someone dies, or we are feeling alone in a crowd, it has that same kind of twinge. And so we identify that feeling that we carry inside us always as a form of searching, a form of alone, a form of abandonment. And so I guess the new moon is awareness today. Is to reframe that. Yes, we are reaching through our hearts, and we are connecting. But because what we are connecting to is so different, it just feels unexplainable, and therefore a little alone. Okay? That makes me feel better, that I can equate it to something else, the chemistry of tears theory, and that it's not something that is wrong with me, but something that is unexplainable, which makes it spiritual, mysterious, mystical, and that's kind of cool. So happiness practice. We change the name. We change the meaning. We allow it to be a connection with something we cannot define, but something that we yearned for, maybe something that we remember, maybe because being a human being changes how we perceive. There is a feeling of being cut off from how we were before and how we will be again. So, all right. Thank you for going on this journey with me. I hope that we all have time to just sit and enjoy the sun while it's still here, and enjoy the colors and the fruits of all we have labored on so far. And I hope that we all remember that we are loved, we are held, we are amazing. And I hope you have a great day.